And this was from June. And he left so early, although we awarded him the prize at the end of the night, he wasn't here to give it to him. So now he has to suffer the public humiliation of a presentation. So here's your own little Willie to play with.
He's even got the red nose. I'll just tell you quickly, this is called the Celtic curse, because so many Highlanders have got rosaria, as do I, from not having any sun for thousands of years. And my doctor calls it the Celtic curse, which is why a lot of Scotsmen have got red noses. It's got bugger all to do with drinking. I've never had a drink in my life. Not one, never. I've never had a drink in my life. I never have.
Yep.
But I like his wee red nose.
And so you can play him when he misbehaves and you have to put him to sleep. You know, here's a nice CD to play him
of the
Battlefield Band playing at Edinburgh Castle with some of their guests.
The insane thing is this: when they came, the lead guitarist's mother and I went to school together in a tiny little fishing village in the Northwest Highlands from the Battlefield Band. Isn't that true?
That's
Absolutely, to God's truth.
At least that they confirmed the story when we met.
Yeah. You wear red nose as well.
That's right. Here's a red nose. Yeah, am I sitting down again or what?
No, you're standing out here because you are going to introduce the concert tonight.
Oh,
You want to start off with your, best foot forward. So, who could we ask better than George? You wouldn't happen to be able to reprise the song that you won the prize for, would you?
no.
No.
I must say that.
Tell us a bit about the song again. Why you sang it?
Why I won the prize? It was called "Do We Really Belong," and it was went like this: Do we really belong? Do we really belong? Do our cattle belong? Do our cities belong? Do our people belong? Or our children belong in this great southern land of the dreaming? For there once was a time that was here before time, when the rivers ran clean and the earth wasn't mined, when the soul of this land was kept safe in their hand. Yes, safe in the hands of the dreaming. And there was 4 or 5 more verses. But I wrote it because I live at the Tonga on the other side of the creek looking out over the ocean, and I'm constantly finding Aboriginal artifacts all the time. I've only got to do a little bit of gardening and I find these beautifully round stones, smooth as anything, and when you grind them and it'll come out red, and then you'll find another one and you do it and it'll come out yellow. I keep finding all these artifacts, and I found the most amazing grindstone that was carved perfectly like this and like that, with a curved bottom and about this big, and the curved bottom had been chipped and it was used for grinding grain and stuff. So I often wonder if we really belong in Australia, or if it shouldn't have been left. It's a great spiritual country it was, because the Australian Aborigine is the most spiritual human being that has ever lived in the history of the world, without question, because they understand nature better than anybody. And that was told to me in Salt Lake City at a conference of religious leaders by a Hindu leader of some huge sect in India with 400 million followers, who had been to far north Queensland and had arrived at that conclusion after talking to real Aborigines up there. Anyway, so can I do my song?
But come and sing in front of the microphone. Oh. In front of the microphone.
I was talking to Vincent, and the funniest thing, he's an Irishman living in America, who's lived in Australia, and I'm a Scotsman living in Australia who used to live in America for 10 years. So out of reverence to him, I'm going to do an ancient Scottish folk song from about 1750 about an Irishman who was a captain of the Irish Dragoons who came up into Scotland and fell in love with Bonny Peggy of Fyvie. And he promised her all sorts of stuff, wealth and fame and travel. And famously she said to him, "I will never marry a foreigner or a soldier." And he died some time later. We don't know if it was of his wounds or of a broken heart, but probably both. Bonny Peggy. Oh, there once was a troop of Highland Dragoon came marching down through the Fife. Oh, the captain fell in love with a very bonny lass. His name it was called Bonny Peggy. Oh, and there's bonny, bonny lass in the harbours of the west. There's bonny, bonny lass in the Kerry. Oh, and bonny, bonny Jean in the town of Aberdeen. The floor of the ball is the Ivy. Oh, I'll come within the stairs, Bonny Peggy, oh my dear. Come within the stairs, Bonny Peggy, oh. I come within the stairs and tie back your golden hair. Dear laddie's the captain of the Ivy, oh. And it's braw, the captain's lady 40p. It's braw to be a captain's lady, oh. It's braw to rant and roar and to follow at his side. They march with the captain when he's ready, oh. I never did intend a soldier's lady 40p. I never will marry a soldier, oh. I never did intend to get to a foreign land. I'll never will marry the captain, no. Well, the colonel, he cries, oh mount, boys, mount. The captain, he says, oh tarry, oh. I tarry just another day or more, till I see if this body lass will marry me, oh. Oh, it was early in the morning when we marched away, and oh, but our captain was sorry, oh. And the drums they did beat, oh, the bonny days of thee. The captain we had to carry, oh. On long ere we were the old Meldrum tune, our captain we had to carry, oh. And when we got to Bonny, Bonny Aberdeen, our captain we had to bury, oh. And it's green grow the rashes and bonny Isle of Sight, and low are the lowlands of Fife, oh. Our captain's name was Ned, he died for the maid, he died for the bonny lass of Fife, oh.
Now, that's a true story.